Last year, a poll conducted by Harrison Lego revealed that the #1 dream job of kids in China 8 to 12 was astronaut. In the US and UK, it was YouTuber. There was nothing wrong with wanting to be a YouTuber, but I think that survey unmasks an increasing obsession with fame in Western countries. Critics often warn of the impending narcissism the youth will display. We all have our preconceived notions of fame, some negative, some positive. But one interesting notion was from Joji, or as the internet knows him, rather won't let it go, Filthy Frank. His music videos from 2020 may reveal a hidden message about fame and the celebrity. Welcome to Psych IRL, my name is Donna. Now, Joji's music videos in 2020 have been really interesting, and something I noticed is that no one really speculates on the meaning behind them. With the exception of his subreddit, no one's talking about the visual aspect of his music videos. So today, we're going to be analyzing that. We're not going to be focused so much on the lyrical part as the visual part, because if you look closely, you'll see that Joji's music videos in 2020 tell a very tragic story about the reality of fame and the celebrity. As of recording this video, Joji has released 3 music videos in 2020, Run, Gimme Love, and Daylight. He's also released 2 music video-like shorts labeled Not Songs. Not sure why they're labeled that way. All these videos seem to be connected to each other, but their story isn't told chronologically. Because of that, I'm not going to analyze these videos in order they were released. Instead, I will be analyzing them in the order I think this story of fame is supposed to unfold. One of the first indicators of status is appearance, and when an individual gains fame, they may change their appearance to indicate a higher status. They may purchase more clothing, buy a bigger home, nice cars, and many get some sort of cosmetic procedure. In the music video Pretty Boy, we're introduced to a strange-looking character. It is a great setup for the world the viewer is about to be introduced to, Hollywood and the fame machine. The video starts as the camera zooms into a man who looks overly tan and has had too many cosmetic surgeries. To me, the video is commentary on the narcissism and fakeness of Hollywood and the celebrity. Although strange looking, this is the norm in this universe. You find this out as another man who seems to have had similar procedures done to him appear on screen. They do things like have coffee and take joyrides on a scenic route, very California-like. Throughout the video, they are constantly looking at themselves in a mirror. It reminds me of celebrities in the 80s to early 2000s who got plastic surgery that didn't look good. Perhaps in that Hollywood circle, it was the norm.
What happened to Simon Cowell's face?
These men are clearly aging, yet they go above and beyond to hold on to their youthful looks. Feasibly, the element that made them famous in the first place. These days, cosmetic surgery has improved so much, you're unable to tell if someone has had it. Average individuals wonder how celebrities look so good, and the answer is money. Whether the celebrity hires a personal chef or trainer to improve their appearance naturally, or they get some sort of cosmetic surgery.
You have the greatest hair. Is that a natural? Is it?
Thank you, man. I do.
You got good hair. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Money gives you an advantage to improve your appearance. Because of that, appearance is tied to status. Since the average person isn't able to afford such expensive lifestyles or procedures, temporary solutions have exploded in popularity to cater to the average person's needs. Apps like Facetune allows one to change their appearance inexpensively, and social media has normalized this. Ah, Facetune, the poor man's plastic surgery. See, the game plan is you change how you look on Instagram, get really popular, start getting bread, and then you get plastic surgery for real. You know what? Let's try this Facetune thing out right now and change my face according to the most stunning faces according to science. Take the selfie. Oh God. I literally can't see what I look like. According to science, we need to remove the blemishes and smoothen out this skin. Then we need a heart-shaped face, meaning a wider forehead and a pointed chin. Next, arched eyebrows, symmetrical eyes, a dainty nose, and big lips. This is a according to science, the most stunning face.
You want me to do a close-up?
What? The funny thing is, the final photo kind of looks like someone who got plastic surgery, which coincidentally is also somewhat normalized on social media.
Take off your mask.
We're getting lip filler. Yeah.
So the point of this video isn't really to say if influencers promoting plastic surgery and Facetune is morally right or wrong. Maybe I'll save that for another video. The point is that these types of changes to your appearance signify status. Just take a look at what Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk did after they've gained fame and money. Joji's pretty boy was an over-exaggeration of this need. What happens if it goes too far? The idea that fame is a narcissistic, self-image obsessed endeavor is often at the forefront of why people hate celebrities. Yet, some of those same people still strive to be famous. The third video Joji has released in 2020 is for the song Gimme Love, and to me it describes this discrepancy perfectly. Although it is the third music video released in 2020, I believe it is the first chapter in this universe. The viewer is greeted with a very fast montage that portrays Joji rising the ranks of his career. The montage is so fast it may be hard to follow along. This mirrors the reality of life. When slowed down, one clip may not paint the full music video's story, like a snapshot of your day or one task may not paint the picture of who you are. Those clips in succession, though, of each other and your days do. Just like this montage, life can feel like it's happened this fast. In just the 5 seconds of this video, you already get the sense Joji's dream is to go to space. Eventually, he gets the job and is even promoted. As he moves up, you begin to see signs of stress mixed in with times of happiness. He starts to win awards. He also starts to show abusive behavior towards his coworkers. The US government starts to show interest in Joji's work, and he earns more awards. The happiness is still there, but it becomes less prevalent. Joji is more stressed and behaves more abusively. Despite dangerous work conditions, Joji is insistent on everyone continuing. It looks like he might have killed someone. That all happened in 1 minute and 41 seconds. As he steals the rocket, he disappoints everyone he works for, but he doesn't care. The viewers of the rocket, on the other hand, have no idea this is going on in the background. They look like they're still inspired by his endeavor. So, movies often portray space as lonely, mysterious, and even dangerous. The protagonist that typically leaves Earth is doing so for some greater good or something beyond human. I think these music videos are doing the same. You go above and beyond working on something and you finally excel. The public has no idea of the struggle you went through and the top executives you might have pissed off. Once you're at the top, it's lonely. See, to me, this video was an allegory of working so hard to get fame, and it's something all of us want. All of us want. All of us want.
All of us want.
No, your ears didn't deceive you. We all want fame. Maybe not the modern idea of fame, but we all want what it originally meant. Fame is not unique to humans. In a study by Robert O'Deener and colleagues, researchers found that male rhesus monkeys were willing to forego fruit juice in order to see images of other high-status male monkeys and female piranhas. So, if we let go of the Hollywood concept of fame and think of it in a primitive sense, we find that fame equates to status. In primates, behavior is dictated by social hierarchy. Rhesus monkeys were willing to forego rewards or fruit juice in exchange for seeing female piranha, aka female ass. Sounds kind of familiar. They did so in order to gain information on who they can and can't mate with. They did the same with images of high-status male monkeys. This may give them information on their potential rivals. What was interesting about this study was that the rhesus monkeys required overpayment of fruit juice in order to see lower-status monkeys. Because how they behave isn't affected by lower-status monkeys, seeing images of them offer no useful information. Hence them asking the scientists for more fruit juice. Perhaps the reason for the popularity of gossip magazines, drama channels, and celebrity obsession are due to this primitive urge. In fact, I asked you on Instagram if you could, would you be famous and why? And see what happens when you follow me on Instagram. You too get to be included in the video, and who knows, anybody's names that might appear here might become famous. I would prefer it over not being famous. Yes, yes. Lizard people. Yes, you only live once. Power and money are one hell of a drug. Many of you who said yes did so for reasons that could be accomplished if one were of higher status. I would be famous for my art and marrying J-Hope from BTS, of course. For sure I would, legit for the sole reason that I would meet Harry Styles. Maybe I would meet Harry Styles at an event. Cause maybe then you'll read my response, SMH, LOL, but to have a platform to influence, F money. Yes, because I feel like nobody loves me at the moment. If I'm famous, loads of people would love me and look up to me. So everyone will like me and I'll be rich. Yes, I like external validation. I would also use fame to advise people to put a damn mask on. Yeah, if sacrificing privacy meant I wouldn't have to live on a $450 paycheck just for the money, I'm sick of being poor. I want to provide for my family with that money. Bring resources to my city. There were also many of you who said no, and your reasons were for something more modern. Donna Rockwell and colleagues differentiated the definition between fame and celebrity. Fame is a long-standing phenomenon largely deriving from mass society, typically urban, in which individuals are glorified for their deeds. So Alexander the Great and the Roman Empire were famous. Celebrity is viewed as a modern phenomenon related to mass media brought about newspapers, magazines, television, and the internet. A celebrity is a person who is known for his well-knownness. So celebrity obsession may be the result of the commodification of our primitive instincts, our need to attain information about high-status individuals. Your Instagram answers show that you do want fame, but you don't want to be a celebrity. I have hella anxiety, bro. No, seeing too much TMZ ruins lives. Being sexualized, overanalyzed, and put on a pedestal of godly standards? Nah, I'm good. No, every facet of my life would be exploited and my privacy would be gone. The money isn't worth it. What's the catch? Do I die alone? No thanks. No, honestly, the stress isn't worth it. Fans can be creepy and there will be someone hating on you. No, I would be canceled. Joji's Gimme Love portrayed that we all want to be famous and do something beyond human. Unlike our animal counterpart, though, the modern-day version of fame comes with individuals controlling the way you use your status. You can't say anything too offensive, don't be political, say whatever is optimal to gain the most money. To gain us the most money. This is shown in the music video FTC. In the music video FTC, the beach is littered with a few of Joji's items from the video Gimme Love. We know this because of the symbols on the items. We then see those caricatures of the Hollywood celebrity searching for something on the beach. This time around their necks, they are wearing the same symbol as the organization Joji worked for. They spot the medal Joji won in his place of work. The expression on their faces might indicate that this is what they've been looking for. Towards the end of the video, they seem to be searching for Joji. To me, the old men in this video represent the controlling figures due to the commodification of fame. Joji has escaped Earth, symbolically doing something beyond human, reaching fame. Now that we know humans have an innate desire to learn from individuals of higher status, industry leaders represented by these old men will attempt to profit off of it. Dave Chappelle, for instance, walked away from $50 million, not because of the fame, but because of the people trying to control him, people who have commodified fame.
At 19, he's the youngest comedian in Star Search history. From Washington, D.C., here is Dave Chappelle.
You've worked your whole life for it. You wanted it. You've, struggled to get it. Sacrificed, rejected many times, told that things wouldn't work, and then all of a sudden, you're the genius, and we're gonna give you $50 million. And that was too much for you to handle?
No. That's the thing that I always read that makes me mad. No. It was the fame. Couldn't stand the fame.
Yeah.
I love being famous.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. When I came out here and everybody was like, hooray, I was like, I'm back on TV. It's the way the people around you position themselves around you to get in your pockets and in your mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That it's infuriating to me.
That leads us to the next event in the music video timeline, Daylight. To me, Daylight represents the reality of show business. This video takes place on a set of a music video. It has very striking similarities to music videos by the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. We see the same older men featured in Pretty Boy and FTC as band members and a director, but they don't seem to mind Joji. This could mean a number of things. As I mentioned earlier, it could be commentary on celebrities past their prime, holding on to their youth and glory days. No offense to the Backstreet Boys or anything. In fact, I did listen to their music when I was like 7 or something, even though I didn't really know what was going on in their lyrics. But when it comes to things that make money, Hollywood is for sure going to milk that as much as they can. Joji's video also exposes the hierarchy of the entertainment industry. When success is somewhat predicated on connections and who you know, it's bound to be abused.
Welcome to ABC News Live. We have breaking news for you. Harvey Weinstein is heading to prison. The movie mogul behind some of Hollywood's biggest hits.
Guilty of rape and criminal sexual assault.
Right now, there's a controversy going on with Ellen and her show. Crew members and interns are accusing her producers of sexual abuse. I've heard comments in real life and online saying, why did this abuse come forward now? Frankly, it's from people who just don't understand the ecosystem of what goes on in that industry.
You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you?
Senator, as a black man in America,
say it as it is. I think it's important.
you only have a few shots at success.
It seems like such a big circle of people, but in reality, it is really small. And imagine being in that circle and say acting is your long life dream and you wanted to do that. And this circle of people can literally just prevent you from doing that.
What happens is with actors, you're in a vulnerable situation. You know, you're in a vulnerable place, you're trying to get a job. Any men in positions of power who could use that power to abuse it. When I was a young actor, yeah, I was asked to go to a hotel room of a director. I didn't think anything weird by it because it never had ever happened to me. And so I went, and he was in his robe. I still didn't think it was weird. Well, he probably just came out of the shower or whatever. And then he asked me to do the scene and then crawl on my belly around it, and it got to a weird place. And I just, when this stuff started coming out with Harvey Weinstein, I did remember that feeling of disgust. I remember that humiliation, and I didn't tell anybody.
Anytime something like this happens, outsiders are shocked that people in this circle let this abuse go on. But a lot of this compliance can be explained. We've already discussed factors like people's desperation for work. There are speculations that other big names are part of this criminal activity, so they are incentivized to cover it up as well. What about lower level individuals who don't necessarily have a stake in making it in Hollywood?
These assistants, people in his office, people that knew this stuff, that saw this stuff, that set him up, that he was meeting the girl in the lobby, but then she comes down and says, oh, Harvey needs to meet you up in his room. She was part of it, or he, or whatever the assistants were. It was like, I mean, I would never do that. I would never
play dumb.
Yeah, I would never be privy to that.
No, of course not. But you also, you don't have to.
What allows abuse to become so prevalent in this Hollywood hierarchy is the diffusion of responsibility. We've all been angry at a cell phone video where we see an injustice happening and no one is stepping in to help. If you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you'll know this is because of the bystander effect. When you are witnessing an injustice in a group setting, you're less likely to step in because you assume someone in the group will. Someone may have already called the police, or the group isn't doing anything because they know something you don't. The responsibility isn't on you, it's diffused among the group. We can apply the same mechanism to the Hollywood hierarchy. The assistant was just doing their job.
People, women, girls would be said, oh, you have a meeting or come to a party. They would show up and that party is just him. Who got them there? Who are the assistants?
You're saying there was a machinery.
So I'm saying there's a massive machinery.
This famous actor has heard rumors about it, but they didn't really know.
I was there kind of that was the height of his power, and that was his legend. That was his whole kind of MO. Like, you know, could you survive a meeting with Harvey? Could you stand up for yourself? And the people who worked for him were like, you know, I'm coming here to make good movies. Miramax was the place, really the place that was making great stuff in the 90s. This level of criminal sexual predation is not something that I ever thought was going on.
Before you shake your head, realize you've most likely disengaged with your morals as well because of the diffusion of responsibility. I'm sure we've all purchased something from somewhere that exploited their workers. This sad and scary reality leads us to Joji's last video, Run. He wakes up in a never-ending limo, and to me it portrays the aftermath of making it, and the result of the celebrity psyche due to the modern commodification of fame. I think this is really interesting because limos usually symbolize the upper class, wealth, and importance. In movies and TV, outsiders stop and stare, wondering who could be the person of importance in this vehicle. If the protagonist is lucky, he or she gets to ride in the limo. For weddings or huge celebrations, average people rent one because for one night, they want a glimpse of that status. Unlike most films, instead of being outside of the limo, these music videos take us inside and show us how dark fame can be. From several interviews of American celebrities, Donna Rockwell and colleagues found that fame was experienced through a progression. Joji's music videos in 2020 exemplify that. First is a love-hate attitude toward the experience.
Do you like being famous, though?
I like it at times, but, you know, I like it when I'm on the stage. But honestly, I would be very happy if I could cut it off and just enjoy my life when I wasn't performing, honestly.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think if you become a big star, you enter into a contract, really, that you can't complain too much?
Well, I mean, when you really think about it, I don't think it's great to complain much regardless of what you do. And I think I'm able to do so many wonderful things that I have to weigh it out. And, you know, I get to sell out venues, I make really good money, I make a great living, and I do what I love. So if I have to sacrifice, you know, some of my privacy, it's not great, but it is what it is.
Then is addiction. One participant said, "I've been addicted to almost every substance known to man at one point or another, and that the most addicting of them all is fame." Joji's Run shows acceptance. This is what fame really is.
When How I Met Your Mother first went on the air, I ran into an actress that I knew, and she said, "Are you just like so happy all the time?" And I remember thinking, does she really think that when CBS picked up the show, it left me with an inability to feel anything other than unbridled joy? But the joke was on me because I kind of thought it would. I had bought into the not uncommon notion that when I taste success, when I get over there, then I'll be happy. But the strangest thing happened. As the show got more successful, I got more depressed.
Lastly, we have Adaptation, and it can be exemplified by Run as well, but I have a feeling we may see more videos before the year ends.
You can't buy happiness. I mean, that made me happy for a little while. But, I mean, I was just probably almost as happy with going to secondhand stores and stuff like that and finding a little treasure like that.
Once fame is achieved, life will never return to normal. The high is gone, and the celebrity goes through several feelings not many of us will ever experience. A number of participants express the loss of privacy and entitization.
There is a time from probably 14 years old to 22 where I couldn't leave the house without, without paparazzi, without just hordes of people anywhere I went, any a grocery store or, wherever. I think it made life so difficult. I don't think young people should be allowed to be famous. Like, if there's somebody who could come in and say, no, they can't, they're not mentally capable of handling this, I think that should happen. The thing with former child stars having breakdowns makes so much sense to me because I think the world that you're thrust into kind of, puts you right in line to have a breakdown.
The relationship between self and other is deeply affected by fame. Because everyone in the celebrity surrounding environment puts them on a pedestal, they experience loneliness because of this separation. something normal the average person does can gain media traction if a celebrity does it.
You would feel watched when you went into a bar, when you went into a pub, and then, you know, in my case, the quickest way of forgetting about the fact that you were being watched was to get very drunk, and then as you get very drunk, you become aware that, oh, people are watching more now because now I'm getting very drunk, so I should probably drink more to ignore that more. And, like, you know, so it gets into, you know, you get into it can affect your psyche, and you sort of have to, yeah. And I think that's something, as I said, yeah, there is no blueprint for starting young and working stuff out.
The celebrity also experiences mistrust when forming new relationships, as well as facilitating old ones. One participant said, "Do people like me because of who I am, or because of what I do?"
I feel like people don't even love me anymore for Bacardi, Belcalis. Like, people love me, Cardi B. I feel like sometimes people don't even love me for me. Like, I feel like people just love the clout. It just made me feel like, wow, am I ever gonna find real love for me? Sometimes I even catch myself like telling the guy that I'm dealing with, like, you don't love me. You just love me because I am who I am. Because I be doing grimy shit to these guys and they don't leave me. And it's like, why you not leaving me? Because I am who I am?
When we go back to that survey revealing that children in Western countries are increasingly becoming obsessed with fame, it shows something more troubling, doesn't it? In the past, you wanted to be famous for a skill. I want to be a famous actor. I want to be a famous singer. I want to be a famous artist. I wonder if social media is giving a younger generation the impression that you should be famous just for existing. I know I've said certain YouTubers are popular for being themselves, but there's a whole business side on the back end they don't show.
When people say, oh, I want to be like you, I want to be an actor, I want to look like you, the question I always ask them is why? Like, really, why? People, and especially in America, this idea of fame, to be famous means that you're successful, that you're happy. I don't do what I do because I want to be famous. Being famous is my job. When I'm home, I am not, and I'm with my family and my friends, I am not famous. I am me, and I'm Cameron, and fame does not define me. And so if you are looking for fame to define you, then you will never be happy, and you will always be searching for happiness, and you will never find it in fame.
Fame is a byproduct from what someone may do. Though it is something we all want, it shouldn't be the reason why we do something. Now, in Gimme Love and Daylight, Joji seems to wake up in this lonely planet where he's by himself. A lot of people speculate that this was all just a dream, but I also think possibly that it's actually all reality, and this loneliness is his psyche of how he feels about celebrity and fame. That's the end of the video. I will see you guys next time. Stay psyched.